right, hello boys and girls. So today our fact practice is adding zero and doubles, okay? So on this paper you're going to be practicing your facts. But this one looks a little bit different. It has a box called a missing add-in. So one of your add-ins, so this is an add-in and this is an add-in, and one of them is missing. But you have your sum is already there. Okay, so this is called an add-in, and this is called an add-in, and then this is your sum, your answer. So we already have the answer. So a good strategy for this is to put the 2 in your head and count how many more do I need to get to 4. So if I count, if I put 2 in my head and then I go 3, 4. So I need 2 more. So that's my missing add-in. All right, so you're either adding doubles, adding 1, or adding 0. So that's a double right there. Now this one, put 4 in our head, and how much more do I need to get to 4? Nothing, right? I'm adding 0. Okay, and this one, put 6 in my head and count to 7. How much more do I need? Or you can find 6 on your number line and then count to 7. And I need 1 more. Okay, so I want you to finish the rest of this. See in 2 minutes how far down the paper you can get in 2 minutes. Okay, just work on that and see how far you can get. And then the back will be your homework. So just seeing you work on your missing add-in facts for homework, and then you can take a picture and put it on Seesaw. All right, so our lesson today is going to be about rectangles, okay? So we are going to be talking about how to identify the properties of a rectangle and how to measure the length and width. So when you have a rectangle, notice how many sides do you see of this rectangle? Okay, so I see a side here and here that look the same, and then a side here and here that look the same. Okay, so a rectangle has a total of 4 sides. Okay, so when a shape has 4 sides, we call it a quadrilateral, and that is what a rectangle is. And you can look and see that it also has a right angle. That means it makes like a letter L. You can see the letter L, a capital L, like it goes nice and straight, and that's called a right angle. All right, and also in your math meeting folder that everyone has, in there you will see, in the math meeting folder that you have, you will see that it has some information on quadrilaterals. So if you look at your polygons, right, and these are all quadrilaterals have 4 sides because quad means 4. And if we look, a rectangle is one of the shapes that have 4 sides, and here's a picture of a rectangle. All right, so what else do we know about rectangles? Okay, so we know that this longer side, we're going to call that the length. That's the length. And this shorter side, we're going to call the width. Because if we know the length and the width, we can find out, we can measure all the way around the rectangle if we know the length and the width. Okay? So that's what we're going to do today, is this opposite side would be width as well, the other short side, and this opposite side that is the same length would be the length. Okay, so the longer sides are length and the shorter sides are width. So you're going to have another lesson sheet where you're going to work on labeling and measuring your rectangles. Okay? Show you. So your paper looks like this, and you have 3 rectangles, rectangle A, B, and C. So you're going to need your ruler again to measure using inches and seeing what the length of these rectangles are. Okay, so remember the inch side right here. So I'm going to first measure the length. And I measured, I lined it up with the 0 and it went to the 7. So then I'm going to put for my length, and I have to label my paper. I have to say length 7 inches. So if this side is 7 inches, then this side must be 7 inches. I want to put that as well. Okay, I'm going to label it length 7 inches. Right? And now I'm going to label my width. I line it up, the 0, and it goes to 3. So this is going to be 3 inches, and this is my width. And then I'm going to write the same thing on this side. And you're going to do it for B and C. So make sure you do A just like I did, and then you do B and C. So we're measuring the length, the longer side, and the width, and the length, and the width. And you ask yourself, why would we need to know the length and width of a rectangle? Well, think about it. Let's say your house was in here and you wanted to build a fence, right? So here's your house and you want to build a fence around your property, right? So you have your driveway and you would like this nice big fence. So you want to measure, you're going to want to measure the length and width of your property so you can put up your fence. Okay, so there's different, that's called the perimeter of your property. So we're going to talk about perimeter later in the year, but we would want to know the length and width. Okay, remember the length is the long side, the width is the short side. Go ahead and complete this lesson worksheet, and then we're going to do the guided class practice together on a different video.